Are you thinking about selling your business, but you don't quite know where to start? Do you have questions that you want to have answered before you even begin the process? Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. I'm Chris Briscoe, Director of Financial Planning for Girard Advisory Services, and with me today is Matt Gubaza, Senior Vice President and Team Leader, Univest Commercial Banking, and Brian Hungarter, Vice President and Wealth Advisor for Girard. Thanks, guys, for being here. You guys are in different departments in our firm. You're in different roles, but you both work with clients who are business owners, and you have both come across situations where your client might be looking to sell their business, whether they're wondering if now's the time, whether an offer's been placed on the table. Take us through that process. What questions would you ask your client to not only help them organize their thoughts, but also get more information for us? Because this is a big moment in their lives. Not just financially. It's a big personal moment. It's a big emotional moment. So take us through the process.
Yeah, I mean, it's a culmination of years, and typically years and years of building to a point, right? And so there's one kind of question, and that's, are you ready? Now that question has many tentacles to it. Are you ready mentally? Are you ready? Are you ready physically? Are you ready financially? Are you ready? Is your business ready? Have you prepared the business for be able to transition to the ownership of someone else, whomever that may be? So there's lots of different sort of ways to look at that, and ultimately, frankly, we usually know the answers beforehand, right? And we have a good sense of our customers over time. But what we can try to do is provide advisory services and say, hey, if you're a little bit high strung, right? So you don't say it that way, but you're a little bit on the tight spot. So how can you figure out what's next for you, right? So we have to think about all these things.
Yeah, if I was going to say it slightly differently, I might say...
You mean better?
Differently. I would say you never enter a negotiation without your end goal in mind, right? And so I think taking the time on the front end, which tends to be much more of a psychological, even emotional exercise of, are you literally ready to give up control over something that you've done for 20, 30, 40 years? Are you looking to sell to family, to a business, to a competitor, to private equity? What does that look like? Do you know how much you need to sell for? Have you walked through those exercises from a lifestyle spend standpoint and how it projects over time? What are the tax issues? What are the leadership issues? How to make sure employees are taken care of? There are so many items that we typically walk through, and until we've really grasped our arms around all of that, it's difficult to make a great decision that may not have unintended consequences elsewhere.
Sure. And you and I, Matt, we went through a recent example with one of your clients who was presented an offer from an outside firm to buy his business. Tell us about that and so how you walk through the decision-making process.
Yeah, so this is an individual who owns 100% of the business, has owned it for a long time. We're talking 35 plus years. Has spent all of that time putting every ounce of every energy, every dollar into that business, right? So not very diverse from a wealth perspective. Has wealth by the nature of the business, but it's all in that same basket, right? And so on top of that, 35 years in a business such as his, it's taxing, right? It really takes a toll on you. And so he's getting to the point where he's saying, okay, one, I got to think about where else can we put some assets, right? Where else can we kind of spread it out? And two, I'm tired. I need to take a break, right? And he's the chief everything officer of that company. And so when you're the chief everything officer of that company, it just wears you down, right? People, full-on labor, getting down in the dirty and doing it every day. So it wears you down. So he's getting to that point. And so, he was presented an offer. It was a good offer, a pretty fair, and again, from our experience, a pretty fair offer for that business. But he had to ask himself the question of, okay, is this the right offer for me at this time? And so what we did was we took together, we put some information, made some assumptions, went through some analyses, put it into Sir Girard's proprietary financial software and put it on a nice pretty screen for him. Hey, this is what you can expect over the next 20, 30 years if you make a decision. Here's today, here's tomorrow, here's what you can expect, to allow, kind of just put it in a nice easy picture to be able to sort of comprehend and think about and put it in your head. Ultimately, he decided not to sell, and not necessarily because of that, but for other reasons, right? And so, but we felt pretty good because we were able to kind of put it into visuals for him, and so he was very appreciative of that.
And I think that touches on a lot of value that we do provide, which is tackling the number one maybe biggest flaw or biggest fly in the ointment, so to speak, is as a business owner, do you know how much you need to sell your business for to make a successful transition? I think oftentimes we see people who think, oh, if I don't sell for 50 or 75 or 100 million, I can't lead the lifestyle that I want. When in reality, they may require far less capital in return for their hard work than they maybe envision. Yeah. There's psychological impact there that we can unpack too, right? You want to maximize value and get every penny you can out of your hard-earned business, but at some point enough is enough, and you may not need to maximize every dollar. Or to the flip, some people say, I want to get out and I'll take 5 million when I could maybe sell it for 10. Well, is 5 million enough? Yeah. Are you going to be maybe living a constrained lifestyle from what you hoped and wished? That's where our planning software comes in, like you said, and we can walk clients through that and empower them to make the best decision for their future.
Yeah, it was super helpful.
And again, the client decided not to do anything at this time, but it was helpful, I believe, for him to look at it and say, okay, peace of mind. If I do sell, I can maybe sell for this amount and I'll be okay. Or maybe, you know what, I'm going to wait a few more years and see what happens.
And again, it's incumbent upon us. What we do is we provide advice to our clients every day throughout the life of their lending and depository relationship, right? And so that is regardless of what that outcome is, whether it benefits us or if it does not benefit us. And so we are required to do as much just by the nature of what we are as an institution, right? So we have to make sure that we're serving our clients as best we can and providing the advice that is in their best interest, not our own, at all times. Because if we don't, then that brand that we've built over 147 years, it's gone, right? In a very short period of time. So we have to live up to that and own that every day.
Yeah, and as legally obligated fiduciaries, obviously we stand to benefit if a client sells their business and says, all right, Brian, Chris, here's 50 million to go invest on my behalf. That might not be the right decision for them. Or should we be shielding proceeds in a different direction, whether it be for tax or legacy reasons? Is there charitable intent? Whatever it is, it's our obligation to walk our clients through every one of those avenues and, again, craft the best customized picture for them and their family.
So how can Girard and Univest help? Give me a sentence of how we can help the client.
We can provide lending and depository services, right? That's Univest. But moreover than that, what we really want to do is make sure we're providing our experience and what we've experienced and seen over the years to benefit and impact negatively our clients over that time, and just kind of always keep that in the back of my mind that we're going to be there for that kind of advice.
One is, sure, we can model out the financial implication of any decision that you're encountering and see, is this a net negative or a net positive for your family and your situation? And then two is, just as importantly, there are many different players in a sales cycle. Yes, you have your banking team, you have your wealth management team, you have your attorneys, your accountants, your iBankers. The list goes on and on. Someone needs to be there to make sure that all the parties are communicating and that what the client is looking for is what they're actually getting from their professional advisors who may be newer to the picture potentially. We embrace that role to make sure that everyone is working in unison on the same page to get the client where they want to be. And I don't think that can be understated.
Well, guys, thank you very much. That was great information. And to you, the viewers, thanks for watching. If this applies to you and you're looking for some additional guidance, please visit our websites, meetgirard.com and univest.net, where you can find contact information for the three of us as well as the rest of our team. We'd be happy to have a conversation to help you navigate through this often complex topic and hopefully help steer you in the right direction. Until next time, take care. Thanks again.